In the icy land of Snowyville, where snowflakes danced in the sky and the ground was soft and cold, there lived a little penguin named Poppy. Poppy was not like the other penguins. While they loved to slide on ice and swim in the sea, Poppy liked to do something else. She stared at the moon. Every night, Poppy would sit on a snow hill, flap her little wings and say, "One day, I will fly to the moon." The other penguins laughed. "Penguins can't fly," said Penny. "The moon is too far," said Parker. "You're just a silly dreamer," said Grandpa Flippers. But Poppy didn't care. She looked up at the round, glowing moon and whispered, "I'll find a way." The next morning, Poppy went to the village of Puffinville. There, she met Benny the balloon bear. Benny sold colorful balloons. "Benny," said Poppy, "can I borrow some balloons? I want to float to the moon." Benny chuckled. "Well, that sounds fun, but be careful." Poppy tied colorful balloons to herself. One by one, pop, 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 they lifted her off the ground. "I'm flying! I'm really flying!" But just as she reached the clouds, bang! A flock of giggling seagulls flew by and popped the balloons with their beaks. "Oops, sorry." Poppy plummeted into a snow pile. Poof! But Poppy didn't give up. She waddled to her friend Sammy the seal, who loved to build machines. "Sammy, I need a rocket sled, fast and super zoomy." Sammy smiled. "Leave it to me." Together, they built a rocket sled. "Ready?" Sammy asked. "Ready?" said Poppy. 3, 2, 1, blast off! The rocket sled zoomed across the snow, faster than a snowball in summer. It went up a ramp, up, splat! Poppy crashed into a giant snowman. The next day, Poppy had a new idea. She waddled to Lulu the llama, who made magic bubbles. "Can you make a bubble big enough to float me to the moon?" asked Poppy. Lulu laughed and twirled her wand. Pop! Out came a shiny rainbow bubble as big as a house. Poppy climbed inside. "Good luck," Lulu waved. The bubble floated up, gently spinning in the sky. Up, 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 whoosh! A gust of wind blew the bubble straight into a cloud full of birds. The birds were having a popcorn party. Pop! The bubble burst. Poppy fell again, but this time right into a giant pot of jelly. "At least it's tasty," she giggled, licking her flipper. That night, Poppy sat under the stars. She was sticky and tired. "I guess penguins really can't fly," she sighed. Suddenly, she saw something sparkle across the sky. It was a shooting star, and it dropped a tiny note. Poppy opened it. It said, "Keep trying. Big dreams need big courage. Moon Bunny." Poppy's eyes lit up. "Moon Bunny? The moon is listening." She stood up, full of new energy. "I'm not giving up." The next morning, Poppy's friends surprised her. Sammy the seal, Lulu the llama, Benny the balloon bear, and even Grandpa Flippers stood outside her igloo. "We believe in you," they cheered. "Let's build the best flying machine ever." They worked all day. They built a ship called the Moon Waddler. It had balloon wings from Benny, rocket pops from Sammy, bubble blasters from Lulu, a penguin-powered pedal engine, and, of course, a snack station full of anchovy cookies. At midnight, under the glowing full moon, everyone gathered to watch. "Are you ready?" asked Grandpa Flippers. Poppy took a deep breath. "Ready as a snowflake in summer." Everyone counted down. 3, 2, 1. Blast off. The Moon Waddler shook, sparkled, and rose into the sky. Past the trees, past the clouds, past the giggling seagulls. "Look at her go!" shouted Parker. "She's really doing it," said Penny. Up, up, up flew Poppy through stars and stardust, zooming past space whales and sleepy comets. Finally, she landed on the moon with a soft, snowy poof. She stepped out and gasped. "It's like a marshmallow playground." She saw a bunny waving. "It was Moon Bunny." "You made it." Moon Bunny smiled. Poppy laughed and did a happy dance. "I did it! Penguins can fly to the moon!" Before heading home, Moon Bunny gave Poppy a gift. A silver moon feather. To remind you that dreams have wings even if you don't. Poppy hugged her new friend. Then, she flew back to Earth in her shiny ship. When she landed, all her friends cheered. Poppy the penguin flew to the moon. They had a big party with moon cookies, snow cones, and music. From that day on, no one laughed at dreamers. Whenever someone said, "That's impossible," Poppy would smile and say, "Just flap your heart and fly anyway." And every night, she looked at the moon and winked. Because the moon had a friend now and her name was Poppy,